is up, dudes? So, you may have heard, but the Pope has ceased to be. He's died. And I'm not going to clown on him or anything. I mean, I don't know. I think the Pope's an important position. But I did not agree with this Pope very much at all. So, yeah, we're just going to get right into it. React to this news.
Easter Sunday surprise from Pope Francis, weeks after he was released from the hospital, delivering a message calling for better treatment of migrants. Claudio Lavanga is in Rome for us tonight. Claudio, good evening.
Holly, it was an Easter surprise many people around here had been hoping for. Pope Francis appeared in St. Peter's Square right after Easter Mass. He blessed the crowd, he wished everyone a happy Easter, and he even jumped on the Pope Mobile to tour St. Peter's Square to greet the ecstatic crowd. Now, in his Easter message, he of course called for peace in the world, but he also warned against contempt towards migrants, a message that must have been in the air in that room where earlier in the day, Pope Francis met privately with J.D. Vance. The Vatican said that that meeting only lasted a few minutes just to give them an opportunity to wish each other happy Easter. Hallie?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about...
Shut up. Yeah, so we'll just go this.
So good to see you. God bless you. And I know you've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, he had a...
These are for your children.
I think pneumonia took him out.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Vatican tie, and then...
A Vatican tie, dude?
For your
So he gave him some gifts, rosaries.
white for your children, and the red one is for the red.
I think he's from Argentina. But he basically... I think pneumonia killed him. I'm pretty sure. He'd been sick for a while, and he just couldn't get over it. What was he, like 83 or something? Does it say? Yeah, so anyways, we'll look at some of this stuff. Here's what we know. Remembering the Pope. So this is from CNN, so just to show that I do read opposition news. Fox, we never... Well, yeah, we use some Fox News stuff in our podcast, but they all suck. They're all fucking lying assholes. I don't think they'd lie about this, maybe. Anyways, remembering the Pope. Tributes have poured in from around the globe after the death of Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff in nearly 1,300 years. Holy shit. The Pope died at his residence at Casa Santa Marta, a guest house at the Vatican where he had lived since his election in 2013. So he had some time to be Pope. I don't know if most of them die as Pope, or do they step down? Like, is it ever... Like, I wonder if they're ever just like... Yeah, like, I'm not fit to be Pope anymore. I need to step down. I know there's one that retired. It says here on the page. But anyways, cause of death. 88 years old. So the 88-year-old Argentinian died of a stroke and heart failure. Oh, fuck. Francis was last seen Sunday when he gave the traditional Easter blessing from the balcony of St. Peter. That's when he was just sitting there all fucking just out of it. Just like, yeah, fuck, get me out of here. He probably felt like shit, dude. What happens now is death now... His death will now open a debate about the future direction of the Catholic Church, with cardinals expected to gather soon in Rome to elect his successor. And I'll kind of get into that, how they choose the new pope. Also, I'm Catholic, by the way. Should have mentioned that. Trump's to attend funeral, although they have sparred from afar on issues of immigration and the environment. I've never heard that word before, sparred. Like sparred. Immigration and the environment. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he and First Lady Melania Trump will attend Francis's funeral in Rome. So, yeah. So, Pope Francis was elected in 2013 after Benedict retired. So, they can retire. I wonder if you get, like, a pension and shit. Like, do they, like, hook you up? Because they got a lot of gold and shit in the Vatican. And secrets. Various secrets. Before he was Pope, he was Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Oh, yeah, so they give them names too. So, like, obviously he was Pope Francis, but that wasn't his real name. They name him after saints, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm not a very good Catholic. I actually left the Catholic Church for a while for pretty good reason. They too much child abuse. I was just not cool with that. And then I just kind of I had some really shitty things happen in my life, and I was mad at God. And then something shitty happened again, like last year, and it just brought me closer to it. It actually brought me closer to God. Now, I do like Catholicism and Orthodox Christianity. I think it's badass. And we'll kind of get into all this shit right here. So, like, kind of why I think that. Because, yeah, some people will call me extremist, but, I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody, but at the same time, well, we'll get into it. That sounds crazy. Anyways, here's how they elect a pope, because I did want to go through that. I don't even know, so we're learning this together. A new pope is elected through a secret process called the papal conclave, where the College of Cardinals votes in a secret ballot. Cardinals under 80 years of age are eligible to vote. After a vote, ballots are burned, and the smoke released for the chimney indicates the outcome. White smoke for new pope, black smoke for an inconclusive vote. So, yeah, there's like a tie. I wonder if there's like a tiebreaker, or if they break it down, you know what I mean? Or is it just whoever just gets the most votes? So here's a detailed breakdown of the process. I guess I could have just kept reading. The College of Cardinals. The College of Cardinals, the most senior officials of the Catholic Church, is the body that elects the new pope. Cardinals are appointed by the Pope and are usually ordained bishops. And they're all men, by the way. You can't be like... Traditionally, there is no such thing. Like, women just can't, like, have any, like, high position in the church. It's just not how it works. I think we know why. Cardinals are appointed by the Pope and usually ordained bishops. Cardinals under 80 are eligible to vote. So you can't be an old fucker. Which... There's a lot of old fuckers in the church. The conclave. The conclave is the period where cardinals are sequestered at the Vatican, cut off from the outside world until they elect a new pope. That's like, they can't have like phones or look at any social media. I think if you're going to be like in that shit, I don't think you should have access to the internet. You know what I mean? Because there's so much like bad shit. Maybe like read a newspaper or something, but like they shouldn't have like a phone where they can like look at porn and shit like that. Because I'm sure there's tons of that shit going on. They should let them marry. That's how it used to be. They used to let these dudes marry. But cardinals stay in a purpose-built residence like St. Martha's house. I don't even know what that is. And are cut off from communication devices and other forms of external contact. The secret ballot. The voting takes place in the Sistine Chapel. Excuse me. Cardinals cast secret ballots at two-thirds majority. A two-thirds majority is required to elect a new pope. The smoke signal. After each vote, the ballots are burned. The color of the smoke released from the chimney signals the result of the vote. Is that like the ballots like have like some sort of like color in them when they burn? I don't know. That's weird. White smoke indicates they found one. Black smoke indicates that no one's received the required majority. Once a candidate, so this is the election announcement. Once a candidate receives the necessary two-thirds majority, the dean of the College of Cardinals asks if he accepts the election. The new pope chooses a papal name. So yeah, they get to choose their sweet name, dude. Or if they ever like had somebody like, yeah, just call me Bob. I just want to be Pope Bob. The newly elected pope is introduced to the world on the balcony of the St. Peter's Basilica. The official announcement includes the world's Habemus Papam, Latin for "we have a pope." Then formal coronation. The new pope's formal coronation takes place after his election. So they probably throw like a big ass party and shit. So here's the front runners. we're not going to get super deep into it, but this Pope was like super progressive. He was like trying to like have like trans people join the. I mean, I think anybody can receive salvation through Christianity, but you know, you want people, they want to keep asses in pews, right? So, you know, I think it's good to open it up, but at the same time, there's just some things that you just can't enable, like bad shit. I mean, I think people can be, we live in Western society, so yeah, people can be like trans and shit. You don't want to take people's ability away from being who they are or whatever, but, or who they want to be, but at the same time, like the trans thing is just like, I don't know. There's a lot of child abuse associated with trans people. And we'll get into statistics on that in another video, but I just want to say I don't support that shit. How the next pope is chosen, blah, 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 we know about that. So, Luis Antonio Tagle, Philippines, so it'd be a Filipino pope possibly. He's considered a strong candidate. They're betting on it too. Like currently the betting favorite at 3-1 odds. That's kind of crazy. I like how people just fucking bet on anything, dude. Just bet on shit. Fucking, you know, spider monkeys strapped to like hogs or some shit to pigs, and then they race them. Yeah, that's silly. Tagle, an advocate for inclusion and evangelization, has significant experience leading the congregation for the evangelization. Fuck, that is hard to say. What the fuck? Fucking neighbors are loud. Peoples and was charged to figure in the Pope's inner circle. So, if we get another progressive Pope, I think the church is gonna be fucked. Here's Pietro Parolin from Italy, 4-1 odds. He's a cardinal. I think they had to all be cardinals, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had to be cardinals. I don't know if he could be a bishop. I don't know. I don't even know the ranking system. Anyways, he's one of the most experienced Vatican officials. His role as the Vatican Secretary of State since 2013, he's played a major part in diplomatic affairs, including sensitive negotiation with China and Middle Eastern governments. Peter Turkson, well-known figure, is another cardinal. He's former head of the dicastery for promoting integral human development. He's been vocal on issues such as climate change. Bleh, gay. This guy, I was looking at this earlier. This guy seems kind of based. We'll see. 6-1 odds, not too bad. Peter Edro, something like that. Erdo. He's a respected canon law scholar. So I'm pretty sure by canon law, it's he's like real, like the shit doesn't deviate. You know what I mean? Like he's down with the old shit, the old law, more traditional. Oh yes, he's been strong advocate for traditional Catholic teachings and the doctrine. I'm down for that. I like the old school shit, fire and brimstone. He previously served as head of the Council of European Bishops' Conferences and has emphasized theological orthodoxy. So he's more for those seeking to the return of conservatism of John Paul II and Benedict XVI. I don't even know what that is. So that's what this guy is, more conservative, which is what we want. Angelo Scola, 8-1 odds, long-standing papal contender. He's been among the favorites in the 2013 conclave and ultimately elected Pope Francis. Scola, a former Archbishop of Milan, has deep theological roots and appeals to those who support more centralized and hierarchical church. His traditional stance makes him... So he's like also more conservative. This guy, though, he seems pretty based. He's from Hungary. So maybe we'll get this dude. That'd be kind of nice. But there's a page that I follow. It's called TradWest. If you guys don't follow them on Instagram, definitely follow them. They post good shit. They're more of that. I like the old school, like kind of warrior mentality of religion, kind of more badass. You know, I think a big problem with the church is that it's so fucking like. There's like too much of a push to be like pacifist and shit, and like I think there needs to be a little bit of gatekeeping, you know, because I mean look what we have going on in like Western society. Like it's like perverted, and there's like, you know, fucking just porn and shit everywhere. OnlyFans is like crazy. Every girl like has an OnlyFans. Like it's just, we need to get away from that, have a little bit more morally based, you know, not just let people just. It sounds crazy because I'm all for liberty as a libertarian, but there's some things that I don't like, you know. And that's kind of what libertarian is, you know, the whole party. I mean, it's just like a free for all, dude. There's not one person in the party that like agrees totally on everything. So, you know, we get all this infighting and shit. That's why they can never put up a decent fucking candidate. They're trying to get Dave Smith around. He might actually do pretty good, but I don't know if he wants to. I mean, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's definitely getting more popular. If you haven't seen it, I did a video on the debate that he did with Douglas Murray. Debate, we should say. But yeah. Anyways, so this guy's a Cardinal too. And they said this guy should be he should be the next one. Robert Serra. I think he's from, I'm not sure where he's from. Here's a quote from him. The West has denied its Christian roots. A tree without roots dies. Based. Super based. Those who deny the values of their own tradition, culture, and religion are condemned to disappear, for they have lost all their motivation, all their energy, and even all the will to fight to defend their own identity. There's definitely a problem right now with, you know, it's like there's this big debate going on, like with letting people into your country and people like race mixing and shit. Like I can't really say anything. I'm mixed, so I don't really care about shit like that. But I think people do have a right to want to preserve their culture. I mean, that's just like, I mean, imagine if a bunch of white people fucking move to, I don't know. I mean, they move all over the place. They colonize places, but like other places, you know, other cultures do it too. So like a bunch of white people say they move to, you know, fucking the Congo, and then they just take over and they start like mixing and like changing the culture there and shit. People would be fucking outraged. And then the local people there would be like, oh, what about my culture? I want to preserve this and that. And like, you see that shit with, like, you ever watch those stupid videos where they like, what kind of type of guy do you like, whatever? And then like the black people say, like, sometimes, not all, okay, I don't want to like make it sound bad, but you'll hear some of them say like, they're like, well, I don't want to like, you know, break my bloodline or whatever, ancestry, so I want to get with somebody that's also black. But you never hear white people say that on those things, because it would be racist, right? It would just be awful and just bad. So, you know, it's a tough thing to fucking navigate, because people want to preserve their culture. I mean, white people have culture too, and you know, Asian people have culture. I mean, look at China, dude. They're like, everybody there is fucking Chinese. When look at their like when they go to the Olympics, like everybody on the team is fucking Chinese. There's nobody that's mixed. But then you look at the U.S. and the U.K. and like Western countries. You know, we got black people, Asian people. You know, people that are mixed, black and white, and Mexican people, and like everybody. Like I mean, it's pretty cool to watch, right? I mean, we have everybody competing, which is cool. But then you look at like Eastern European countries and they're all white, which is fine. That's what they want. You know, like Poland is on a big push for that too right now, is to like keep it like, they want to be Christian. They want to be a Christian nation. They don't want like Muslims in their country. And I don't blame them. They do a lot of terrorism. Yeah. So let's keep going with this. So yeah, rest in peace. I mean, it's always a tragedy when somebody dies. Oh fuck, I just skipped the thing. It is a tragedy when somebody dies. You know, I don't want the Pope to, I don't want to like shit on him, even though I didn't agree with what he said, but you know, he was elected. He's the Pope. It's you gotta deal with it. You know, that's who they elected. So as a bishop, it's my duty to warn the West that barbarians are already inside the city. So, which is true. I mean, look at all this, immigration, people just flooding into the fucking country and shit. Like, sorry, playoff hockey's on, even though I'm wearing a baseball jersey. I'm trying to get the Avs game. For some reason, they're showing this fucking Washington and Montreal game. Anyways, it's true. Like with all the immigration and shit. I mean, it seems like an invasion. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I mean, the Democrats here in America, they pretty much were just importing voters. You know, they were giving them like social security numbers and shit, like so they could vote. And then they just passed this thing where you have to have like ID and shit, like an American ID and like social and all this shit to vote. And the Democrats were like vehemently fucking opposed to it, like because that's their voting base. You know what I mean? Just they're literally importing fucking voters, dude. Without God, man builds his hell on earth. I believe this. I did that for myself. What do they say? It's the road to hell looks like heaven. You know what I mean? And then the road to heaven is hell, basically. I mean, we kind of go through hell. And, you know, I was drinking a lot. I was did a lot of cocaine. And it just wasn't good for my life. I was, loving or trying to love the wrong women that were just not good for me, that were not of God. So they couldn't even lead me in the right direction. They were just not good people, and I try to look past their disgusting. This last one, she was a bad one. I mean, I don't want to go on this like incel fucking, rage, standing on my incel soapbox and talking shit about women, but her specifically was just bad. I mean, if maybe someday I'll get into it, kind of a story, but she was just very, she was into like witchcraft and like shit like that. Like she's just not a good person. Cardinal Robert Sarah. Those who use the Bible to justify mass immigration are bewitched. Yeah, mass immigration is ridiculous. You can't fucking just let everybody in. That's not how it works. In a perfect world, yes. It would be great to be able to do that, but you just can't do that, dude. You don't have the infrastructure. You can't take care of all those people. And then all the bad actors in it and people that aren't, that won't assimilate to Western society, whatever society you live in, they carry their crazy fucking barbaric ways and bring them over here and they rape and kill and it's fucked up. Globalized humanity without borders is hell. Yep. Nation dies when its people are taught to hate their own religion, history, heritage, and culture. Yes, I agree. So yeah, check them out. They're good. But yeah, that was my video about the Pope. It sucks, but hopefully we get a good one. The way that the Catholic Church has been going, it's been going kind of bad. So I will hope that they do the right thing and they get a good Pope in there that kind of restores the Catholic Church and makes it good. So yeah, that's all for today. But I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.